Hello, call me Malum. I'm a caster for the SMITE 2 Founder Series, and this is a beginner's guide for silly gooses to learning Mordred if you aren't familiar with the character and you're new to SMITE 2. It's a nice way to get started with the character and have a basic understanding of what he does on the battleground. Start, you load in, you've got your auto builds. Whether you are a MOBA veteran or just a SMITE veteran or anything in between, you might have heard that auto builds tend to be bad. But here at the start of SMITE 2, they're honestly pretty good and a great way to get started if you don't know what you are building. Personally, I'm going to push you towards either the Bruiser, the Hybrid Bruiser, or the full tank build, as I think those are the best. The Basic Attack Warrior is fun. Definitely give it a try, but not my personal favorite. I think Mordred shines when you can stick to somebody, they can't get you off, and you do tons of damage. But we'll talk about that the further in we get. For Relic, always going to be your choice, always situation dependent. You're going to buy beads for characters like Fenrir, Ares, if there's an Anubis you're worried about, whatever it may be. Aegis when you need it, Shell when you need it, maybe for an Odin, Sundering Arc for objectives, your support. You get the gist. Go combat blink for this jungle practice to take out these pesky Ymir bots. This is jungle practice. If you haven't been in here before, press the tab button. You're going to open up the menu, hold Alt on your keyboard on the left-hand side, and you can turn on a bunch of cool stuff. So we're going to go through this super simple, quick as I can. I don't want to get distracted, don't want to go overboard. You got a shoulder charge. What does that mean? Well, auto. Use your interact key, and you're going to shoulder charge forward. It does flat damage, but more importantly, knocks back, and then perhaps even more importantly, helps build your Wrath meter. Your Wrath meter is your passive that affects your ultimates. We're going to come back to that in a moment. Your abilities, 1 through 4. Mine are Q, E, R, F. Yours are probably 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to start with the first one, which is called Cruel Strikes. So first slash, dealing damage in front of you, then slam, dealing damages to enemies in a line. And you either deal protections for bonus damage or protections for healing based on your attack chain, which is a bit more unique for Mordred. Personally, this was the part of the kit that kind of confused me the most. Mordred basic attacks. Morning, damage scaling, 100% strength, 20% intelligence. And Clarent damage scaling is 60% strength and 100% intelligence. That just means each sword is doing different types of damage. Nothing too crazy there. Blood Rage, your second ability. Circle around you, gives you attack speed and protections. That's right. You reduce their protections and you increase your own. If you're a SMITE 1 player and you remember Stone Cutting Sword, then you already know what the 2 does for our friend Mordred. Again, that's Blood Rage, Cruel Strikes, the first one, Shoulder Charge, and the passive Wrath of the Forsaken we will come back to. Your 3 is Severing Slice. Nice little line shot in front of you. Slows and causes a bleed effect. I find myself using the slow. Mostly the bleed is a really nice added bonus. Now, ultimate time. We got the big boy ultimate ready to go, so let's go ahead and show that off. Take these Ymirs to the sky and bully them up. Slam them on down. That was Pursue the Weak. Remember that Wrath meter we talked about, the passive? Well, you build up Wrath throughout the game. Right now, you can see my ultimate is grayed out. I cannot use it in my Wrath. The little sword here, the little pink guy, is empty. Well, build up that Wrath meter by hitting enemies. Build it up. Do what you gotta do. It's up. What we have now, this is called Heart Slash. Deal damage to enemies in front of you, and if you hit an enemy god, they are rooted. And you channel their life force. You siphon it out. You gain a health shield, and you heal over time for 20% intelligence scaling, and you deal damage while you're doing it. This is incredibly useful in fights, and you will be very thankful if you can use that well. But let's get our Wrath built back up. Go ahead and take these Ymirs up into the sky, slam them on down. This is without a build. Go ahead and get our bot Penta, otherwise it's not a real one, and there we go. But hey, we can't forget about that charged form, can we? Pursue the Weak. Become CC immune and charge forward. You can travel through walls, even stopping on the first enemy god hit. Enemies take damage and are stunned after a short delay. You take them to the sky, you spin them around, and you slam them down, as I said before. You gotta get that charged up, and be careful running into characters that have a jump or a dash. If you time it wrong, they will get away from you. I learned that the hard way. But Pursue the Weak, probably one of my favorite abilities in the game at the moment. That's Mordred for silly gooses and beginners in Smite 2. If you need some players to take a peek at and see what Mordred can really do, I'm going to recommend Solo or Troll and Fine OK. Among others, Haddock's also worth mentioning. All incredible Mordred players picked them up super quick. You can see them in the pro scene. You can see them in the Smite 2 Founders Series coming to you soon. September 13th is the first day for it, and an Alpha Weekend tournament on the way. I've been Malum. Hopefully this helped you out, and hopefully you understand Mordred at least a little bit more.